This is Morten from INKISH. I always start my interview saying that I have the pleasure, and I do have the pleasure because I talk to so many interesting people. And I am a little bit embarrassed because Jordy told me that I have met him before and I didn't recognize it. So that is so embarrassing. But on the other hand, now we get a second chance to talk a little bit. And the reason for this interview is because I saw an interview with my good friend Kerry Kopp from an event where also that was from the FESPA event, by the way, where Jordy was talking about a very interesting project that I wanted to deep a little bit deeper into. So Jordy, welcome to INKISH.
Thank you so much, Martin. Nice to be here and talk to you.
Let's do the interview first, then you can judge it, okay? Yep. No, let's start with something a little bit different, a very funny thing that you just told me about, Printing Wonderland. I mean, just the title seems so interesting. Before we talk about all the other great things, what is it?
Printing Wonderland is the biggest festival in print in the Netherlands, Benelux area for our print professionals. So sign maker, creative agencies, stand exhibition builders, web shops, all related to print. We organized at Probo with a tour from the production plant with a real experience, all about to get your company future-proof with 4 different keynote areas with speakers about the print the day after tomorrow, entrepreneurship, so to inspire action to the print of the day after tomorrow. We expect like 3,000 print professionals.
Because I was just about to say that it blow me away when you said that so many coming. But Printing Wonderland is, I mean, thousands of customers, thousands of professionals, thousands of orders. I mean, you're a big company in that area. Is it only within the signage and large format, or what do you also offer other things?
Yeah, we started with large format print. When I started myself 8 years ago, print was only visual communication, but we made it functional with acoustics, isolation, circularity now with SignAgain. And we're thinking about as well, how can we make print smart, the Internet of Things, for example.
Fantastic. And I just want to tell people that you showed me a video about, because Printing Wonderland is also something that you have used when you are exhibiting in the Netherlands. And we have actually only covered the sign and print in the Netherlands one time, but I've been there 2 times. And I think it's a wonderful show. And you had on the first floor, you had like, I mean, you just showed off, right? You had like I think it was like a lounge area. And I remember particularly because I ate some of your really nice Dutch licorice, which I'm a big fan of. And you had like nice coffees, and it was a great place. And you also had like, you went through a lot of printed kind of rooms with different kind of themes. And when I just saw the video you just sent me, I was so intrigued by it, because when it comes to print, people think that print is dying because they don't read newspapers and don't have yellow pages anymore. But decor, floor, art, clothing, everything, right? I mean, it is, and that was exactly what you showed, right?
That's the thing. As a reseller model, we look in a lot of markets. Every market is looking in their own tunnel, and I heard a lot of markets talking about less print, and maybe that's true in that tunnel. But if I look at it from a graphic perspective, I think we have the most of the most living industry that's around. It's everything can be printed, from ceilings, from interior to labels to acoustics. So there are so many solutions that we haven't before. So if you look a little bit further and over the borders, I think there's so many opportunities, more than time. And that's
more than time. I like that one. Yeah.
And that's a great thing. Hey, we see our reseller model like an ecosystem where everyone is putting added value, and we have like 280 printed materials. But our resellers, they make it like 500,000 plus products from it. And they do it all with their own added value, and that's really nice to see. And they collaborate together, and that's the power of print, I think.
One of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today is because you have started, I don't know when, but you can tell me in a moment, you started a very interesting recycling project. Before talking about that project in particular, what is your opinion and also your company's opinion about, all the signage we produce and all the printed materials? Where do you see that in an ecosystem from a sustainability perspective?
In one way, it's our mission to empower print professionals with solutions in production, logistics, technology. And our model is already from digital print. So with the principle of minimizing your environmental footprint, providing top quality products and services, let's say. But as a printing company, we are as well aware of the impact print has on our ecosystem. So we have to look. We as an industry are owner of this problem, and we have to look for solutions. And all prints literally are thrown away after a short of long period of time. Even the materials that are recyclable are not being recycled at the end. They came up in the oven, and I think it's our responsibility to take it back and to renew it. So
just before we talk about what you do, actually, I was thinking that as you say, we have a responsibility as an industry. Do you think that the industry in broad terms have taken on that responsibility and provided solutions? Because one thing you do, as even though you're a large company in the Netherlands, you're still like one company out of thousands of companies across Europe, right? So I was just wondering, do you think that we as an industry have taken measures to actually be responsible when it comes to the environmental footprint we have?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are in change of time, I think. So that means in one side, every person wants to do good. So I think we all want, but how can we do it? And I think we have to keep pushing the boundaries together, collaborate, and change the industry from a mission. For example, we truly believe that we can create a 100% circular print and advertising industry together in 2035. But we have to start. And that's why we started with our number one commodity product, because we can make the most impact over there, and from there we can go further on.
And the number one product in your organization, that is PVC based, right?
Yeah, the PVC banner.
And what you did, and that was what attracted me from the interview you did with Caris, was basically you take your customers' PVC banners back, and then you basically turn them into new products. So that is like a circular kind of mindset to the sustainability agenda, because you can reuse the PVC several times. Can you tell me a little bit the process? Obviously, I go to one of your resellers, I buy a nice, huge banner, I get it delivered and put it on my walls, and after 3 weeks the campaign is over, then what?
Then you can bring it back and we recycle it again and again. So, yeah, the basic principle how we started, our product engineer, innovation engineer, started 3 years ago, just with a small part of banner waste and putting it with pressure, with heat to a sheet material. That started all the journey. What resulted in like a real production plant where we press the regrind of our cutting waste combined with the recollected banners.
Okay, so it started actually because in all productions there's always waste, either from the trims or from the startup or from errors and things like that. So you started basically taking that into part of the recycling process. Yeah,
that was step one, because we already have this waste. We have like 220 tons of waste, cutting waste from banner every year.
Really? Okay, and if you think of 220 tons, that sounds like a lot. How much of that can be used? Is it reused like one-to-ones, or is there like a waste in the process of recycling the product?
No, the great thing of SignAgain banner material, we can make it to a regrind, 100%. We don't have waste over there, and we only put pressure and heat. So we don't do some adds-on that could be worth for environmental things or something. But it's like 100% circular material, and the great thing, the sheet that we make, we can recycle it again and again and again. And in our industry, you see it's really trending like a PVC-free material marketing thing. But when it ends up in the oven, it's not that eco-friendly.
So, Jordy, from a curiosity perspective, now you got the plates, and when you print on these, do they have the same, let's say, features as a new plate or original plate, or do customers have to think of this as a second-grade product, or how do you see that?
Now, the great thing is, and we didn't know this before, but only by doing, we were really surprised by the properties. Because it's banner is for indoor and outdoor use. It's already B1 certified, fire retardant. It's bendable, but a lot of materials in print don't have. It is recycled, of course. It is recyclable, plus. So it's a lot of properties that are, in comparison to, for example, Dbond, Forex, Reboard, HPL, and even more interesting. And we believe nobody buys sustainability, but yes, they buy a next level solution. And that's why we are thinking as well. We know like advertising print will be a little bit less in the future. The city needs to be greener, less print, maybe more digital. But every company is now a brand. So the experience in the brand experience is more and more important, and a change to interior, for example. So we are working to make tiles, do an embossing on the plates. So we create new functionality in print.
Super nice.
And we can add some coatings for flooring, for wall solutions, or whatever. So we are really trying, together with our ecosystem of print professionals, to keep innovating for new next level solutions in print, and keep opening up new markets as well.
This is obviously something that requires, let's say, both some volume and also some economy to get started with things like this. Have you, as we talked about the responsibility for the environment as an industry, have you thought about asking let's say, non-customers also to return the PVC products to you, so you get that into your recycling system, or is it only for Probo customers?
We have like a roadmap. We started with our own cutting waste. Now our resellers can bring the banners back to our logistic centers we have all around Belgium and Holland. Our own logistic hubs. And to be honest, we cannot control where the banner comes from.
Okay.
At the end.
So you just take everything that comes in, basically.
Yeah, the only thing, there are some banners in the market that are from far away. They have a different structure of where they made from, and that's the difficulty where we have to look at.
So you have to, when you get the material, you have to evaluate the quality of the material, whether you can use it in the recycling process. So it's not just like taking everything and grind it and then make plates of it. That's not what is happening.
Yeah, let's say we do the different sorts of banner, like 410, 510, 610. We keep it back, we make it to a regrind, and we process it to a new sheet. And then we can do the embossing or coating, print, whatever. But we see SignAgain as well as a movement. So we started with banner, but we are really already testing with PP materials, textiles in the near future. So our goal is to get a good SignAgain alternative for every printed product we have. So and that's as well. To make impact, we have to scale internationally. So
of course.
So that's why we look for partners worldwide to make to start a production plant as well. And from every square meter, we collect €1 to develop new materials. So not to make money, but to change really the world to a more eco-friendly print industry.
Let's talk about the scalability of this in a moment. I just have one question before, because actually two questions, because I was thinking that a couple of things comes to mind. One thing is that can non-Probo customers buy the sheets, or is it a Probo only product right now? No. I mean the recycled products.
The idea started within Probo because as owner of the problem,
of course,
with our production engineer, but we started a new company, SignAgain. That's because we really want to make impact on the world and collaborate. And yes, Probo is a customer of SignAgain, and we can serve all our print professionals in Belgium, Germany, and Holland, and even maybe further in Europe. But as well to recollect the banners, the distance cannot be too long because of CO2. Emissions. So that's why.
So that of course makes sense that you have to take that into consideration, and that leads me to the second thing: having the recycling and applying the pressure and the heat to make the plates. Does it also give, let's say, economy? Because I mean, if you compare to buying fresh virgin material compared to having recycled, is there a huge difference, or do you also see possibilities in actually increasing your profit by using this recycling technology?
And the great thing is you're using used banners. So and normally you pay to the recycling partners to put your waste over there, and now you can save costs already. Of course, it needs time and a little bit of energy in pressure and heat, so it always costs something. But it's more interesting, and we're starting up, and we're all already on the same price like a debug.
Okay, so that of course also makes it scalable, because that basically means that when you talk about the roadmap, one thing is that you want to develop more recycled products and investigating into this, but you have a patent on this technology, so you could also have an advantage of setting up a plant in Denmark, in Italy, in the US, and work with different partners on getting this spread out even further, right? Yeah,
and developing together new products with starting with the existing product, but building the movement together. That's really powerful, I think.
And that is, I mean, if you look at the sustainability agenda in the industry is of course vast, but I think that this is like the first time I hear about somebody where it comes from a printing company side? Because so often it's like, okay, then it's like, huge board manufacturers, or it needs to be so big that it is almost impossible to do. And then you figure it out to do this. Is that, when you look at your company and how you have developed into doing these kind of things, do you see also, let's say, that this is something that printing companies will do in the future, be more, let's say, in quotation, responsible for their own footprint, and basically take more waste material into recycling, develop new products and services, instead of relying on the industry organizations and legislation and things like that? Or how do you see that?
I hope so, because only together we can change the print and advertising industry together into a zero waste. If I look at it from a perspective from Probo, we want to develop new products ourselves, because
of course,
if a manufacturer develops a material, it's innovation. For us, it isn't innovation. Innovation is something we create our own. For example, we started with acoustics. We are gluing by special technique printed materials to a recycled jeans material, and we create printed acoustic materials, or like a non-woven combined with the textile to create a new wallpaper solution with flattening the wall out. So that's already in the DNA to work on new printed products, opening new markets that don't exist. And we are in contact with the different group industries of print professionals. So I think we understand like no other where we can learn from each other, what is happening in one industry, learn from the other, and put it all together. But again, we have to do it together as industry.
And that I think is great, and I think it's fantastic. You said something and then I forgot about it, so that was maybe not that important. No, I was just thinking that I mean, it seems like the right way to. Oh yeah, now I remember what it was. When you create like a new plate, because even though it's a recycled PVC and let's say the components of it, have you did you have to go to any of the machine vendors to co-test with them, or was it just putting the plates in and see if it works? I was just thinking, sometimes if people put in a new kind of material in the machine, maybe it could have warranty issues or anything like that. Or have you just started working with some of your vendors already, just to test things? I mean,
the pressure machine didn't exist in Holland, so we looked for it. It made some adjustments and.
But I was sorry to interrupt, but I was more thinking like if you put it through a printing device afterwards, if let's say there was like a chemical reaction between the plate and the print heads, just to give an example, right? Yeah. Maybe there was there. So I was just wondering if you have worked with some of the machine vendors on the printing side, just to be sure that this technology actually doesn't harm any warranty issues or have any technical issues in that perspective.
Yeah, the great thing is we started it small, just by hand pressing the material together, make it to a bigger machine. And yes, we in Probo we have a lot of those machines, and we tried it, but first small, later big.
I was just joking with you that you didn't have to start with the big, most expensive machines. If you had to ruin something, it was the smaller ones first, right?
Yes, absolutely. But when we make the sheet really flat, the printing wouldn't be the problem. It's only how it's more making the sheet stable in thickness. In how can we make the next level solution and think about this? It's easy to think about the products that we already sell, like POS or print advertising, that's for sure. But how can we make the next level products for new markets, like tiles with an embossing, with a great coating for flooring, solutions where we don't think about ourselves, what we have to do the R&D product with our print professionals. And then that's the interesting and the fun part as well. But as well, is looking where we have to go to.
Of course. Jordy, last thing, do you have a name for the product you do? I mean, the output?
Yeah, SignAgain.
Okay, so that is, I thought it was the company name, but it's also, the product is also SignAgain.
SignAgain, yeah, and then we create SignAgain plate, maybe in the future SignAgain foil or whatever. But we see it as the movement, so start always with SignAgain, and the banner sheet material is the first product we made.
So at Printing Wonderland, because you gave me an invite, and I think I will be able to, if I'm not doing something else, I will definitely come. Will customers also be able to see some of the wonderful things you do when you market your company to see SignAgain products?
Absolutely. We want to create a great experience through all production, 25,000 square meters production area, from foil, acoustic labels, large format, but of course SignAgain will have a great place in this tour as well, but as well get inspired by the keynotes of the print of the day after tomorrow. How can we create this ecosystem in connecting the dots on this day, but as well a great party afterwards, of course.
Great. Thank you very much, Jordy. I know that you were very busy and we had to reschedule a little few things in order to get things going, but I think it was worth the time. I hope also for you, and it was really great, and I hope that our little interview here also will bring the story further out, because I think it's a very important thing that Probo is doing. So thank you for your time. Wonderful meeting you again, and hope to see you soon in person.
Thank you so much, and let's do this all together and let's partner up.